A little more about work packages. The smallest piece of your WBS is the work package. It's the smallest piece of work in a project, and these are assigned to people. This is the individual responsible and accountable for the work to be completed. Work packages help identify the types of resources necessary to complete the project, and they should be specific enough to help the person doing the work complete the work. If the resources aren't associated or identified in your WBS, it doesn't provide enough detail. That being said, you don't want to provide too much detail, just enough to get things done. After your WBS is done and you've identified the necessary resources, it's important to assign the work. An easy way to do this is to create a RAM, or a responsibility assignment matrix. A version of this is called a RACI, which includes the individual responsibility levels for each task. Those levels are responsibility, accountable, consulted, or informed. Other things to consider when you're doing this is to ensure that you've assigned responsibility for doing each task to an individual. Make sure that you estimate the resources and the costs associated with them. Develop a plan to mitigate risks, and establishing a method for measuring performance. So to review what we've just discussed, the first step in creating your WBS is to determine which type best fits your project, selecting the appropriate level of decomposition and breaking the project down into smaller work packages, identifying who will do the work, and how to measure success and mitigate risk if possible. The last thing you should include in your work breakdown structure is a WBS dictionary. This simply provides details about each component of the WBS and should include things like the description of the work, assumptions, schedules, milestones, resources, and your cost estimates. This is important because it clearly articulates any details necessary for everyone involved to understand what is required and why it's important to the project. Next, we're going to work through a quick work breakdown structure.